Hey. Highness? Highness? Huh. Probably off washing up. Royals are really fastidious. My bow. Where... Maybe No, I know it was here. Jeez. Well, that figures. The minute we cross the border, boom. Take the bow and ditch the elf. Oh well. What did you think would happen, Nimue? You think an elf bandit can actually be friends with a royal? You're an idiot. This isn't a fairy tale. Still, this is disappointing. I was starting to buy into that friendship business. Guess I should figure out whether my not friends stole anything else. Oh, hey. What, where did you go? Well, I woke up and you were gone and the bow was gone, so... Really? I don't think anyone has ever brought me breakfast before, let alone gone to the effort of hunting it first. Thank you. Yeah, nice work. Those look like they'll cook up really well. Just let me put them over here and we can start cleaning them. You sleep okay? Good. That's good. Hey, can I have my bow back now? Yeah, I know, but next time just let me know. It's my bow, you know? To be honest, I wasn't sure. I figured you had decided to strike off on your own. You were gone first thing, it made sense. No, it's not about that. I wouldn't be able to sleep near you if I didn't trust you at least a bit. But, you know, we crossed the border. That was the deal. And I guess I wouldn't blame you for slipping away with what you needed and not saying anything. Honestly, it's fine. It's probably what I would have done. Goodbyes can be so emotional. Sometimes it's better to just make a clean break of it, you know? No muss, no fuss. I don't know why you're looking at me like that. Besides, you didn't leave, so it doesn't matter anyway, right? Why does that matter? You know, you really are obstinate when you want to get your way. Fine. I promise I won't leave without saying goodbye. I won't sneak off and leave you to it. We can hug it out or whatever, okay? Okay. Speaking of which... Well, once I get you to a village where you can figure out your next steps, we'll be done with each other. You won't need me to guide you anymore. And I will have done my good deed for the year, frankly. Like I said, you've been downright fun to have around. Certainly not a burden of any kind. But once we get to civilization, what do you think you're going to do then? I wouldn't recommend looking for former allies among the wealthy families. For one thing, you don't exactly look like royalty right now. And even if they recognize you, you're not in a position to be useful to them. You've been overthrown, Highness. At best, you'll have their pity. At worst, they'll turn you over to those looking for you. Why wouldn't they? It's not like loyalty is in great supply among those in power. They might do it for the reward money. They might do it to earn brownie points with the ones now sitting on your throne. Or they might do it simply because it makes them happy to see a member of your family suffer. You truly were isolated in that palace of yours. That's tragic. No, your family wasn't beloved by all. I mean, you weren't as cruel and heartless as many ruling families have been over the centuries, and in many ways your family did a lot of good. But there will always be those who are jealous or hateful or hurting and seeking someone to blame. The wealthy and entitled, even for all their power, often covet more. They want all the power. And seeing those in power overthrown is a delicious thing for many of them to witness, especially if they have no fear that their way of life will be threatened by the new regime. I don't know. It hasn't been long enough to know what's going to happen. But I imagine that the coup succeeded because there were those at the top who helped it to succeed. That's usually how it works. And those helpers would have been promised something significant in return. More wealth, more power, more land, something. Depending on how the alliances fall and how the structure shakes out, you might not be safe seeking refuge among the rich and powerful of this country. You may have once gone to parties with them or gone on hunting trips with them, but I doubt they were ever your friends. People at that level rarely make friends. They make allies, sometimes tentative ones. And if they seemed friendly before, it was likely because of what they stood to gain. I suspect they will be a lot less friendly now. Oh? Well then, what do you suggest? Now that is an idea. This nurse, how long was she with you? So, basically your entire childhood. That's a long time. How do you know she retired here? Have you kept in touch? That makes sense, but when was the last time you heard from her? So you don't know if she's alive or dead. No, that's easy enough to figure out if you have a name and a general location, but here's the thing. Are you sure she'd be happy to see you? I understand that. Nurses and children do tend to be close. But was she let go under good circumstances when you came of age? Or was she tossed out without a pension? Would she welcome your face right now or curse the name of your family? Perhaps you should have made more of an effort to keep in touch with her. Especially if, as you claim, you cared about her, and she about you. Okay then, despite the unknowns, I think your old nurse is our best bet. I mean, your best bet. No, just yours. I don't know why I said that. Maybe I just got used to you being around. We feel a bit like a team sometimes. Well, you did provide breakfast this morning. Can't complain about that. Seriously though, I'll help you find your nurse. Hopefully she'll be willing to help you. But after that, I'm moving on. That was always the plan, you know that. You don't, though. You needed me to get you across the border. I agree with that. You were disoriented and a bit lost. But now, you've changed a lot, even in just the short time we've spent together. You can handle yourself a lot better. And you definitely don't need a wanted elf holding you back, whatever you decide. Speaking of which, what do you think you're going to do? Well, I assume you're going to take on a new name and try to live as unobtrusive a life as possible. That would be the safe bet. Maybe your nurse can claim you're part of her family or something. Give you some credibility to start over. See, I kind of thought you might mention that, but you know that's just a fantasy, right? There's no way you can take back your throne. Honestly, that just sounds really silly. And I don't say that to be mean. I really don't. No, I'm not. You know me. I'm not a negative person. This isn't negativity. It's practicality. You are, sadly, the last of your family. You have no army, no money, no resources of any kind. You don't know who's loyal to you. You can't really trust anyone but yourself. What would make you think you would ever have a chance? Highness, I'm trying to be kind. Find a quiet corner of the country and live out your life as a regular, unassuming person. Be happy that you're alive and make the best of it. Try to forget that you were ever a royal. If you forget, maybe no one else will remember either. And then you'll be safe. But isn't safe preferable to dead? Do you really want to risk everything to try to go back to the way things were? They'll never be that way again, you know. You can't go back. The best you can do is go forward with what you have. I think you might be the most stubborn person I've ever met, and that's saying something. How about this? Let's have breakfast. We'll go see if we can find your old nurse, and then maybe she can talk some sense into you. Maybe some part of your brain that listened to her when you were younger will kick in and help you see reason. Stranger things have happened. Listen, I'm not trying to hurt you. Quite the opposite. But I live in the real world, Highness. I have to be practical to stay alive. And I care whether you stay alive too. Of course I do. I think a lot of you. I'd like your royal head to stay attached to your royal body for as long as possible. I don't think that's an unreasonable thing to want. I know. I can't stop you if you go on some pointless quest to avenge your family and reclaim your throne. You wouldn't be the first young idiot to do that after being overthrown. For a while there, it seemed like the countryside was littered with the bodies of stupid royals who'd bitten off more than they could chew. Usually because they had a higher opinion of their own power than anyone else did. Comes from being raised in that ivory tower, I suppose. But for as long as I'm with you, I'll do my best to keep you alive. And to convince you that staying alive is worth doing. Okay? Okay. These are almost ready. We need to eat and get packed up. Do you have any idea where your nurse might be? That's a start. I know that village. It's not as far as some, so it shouldn't take us long to get there. We can ask around, see where she is, if she's still alive. Just try to keep a low profile and don't act, royal. You know what I mean. Don't carry yourself with authority. Don't give orders to people. Don't speak at all, really. Just let me do the talking. What? What does that mean? Well, yeah, I do. My friends mean a lot to me. I suppose. Why, do you see us that way? And what does that mean to you? Oh, that's the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. Thank you for that. I needed a laugh. But we just got done talking about this. Fine. For the purposes of fantasy, since we're fantasizing about things that will never happen, if you do manage to get your throne back, and if you manage to keep yourself alive in the process, I will come live at your court. I'll be, one of your advisors? What on earth would I advise you on? That does have some appeal. You need someone with an ear to the ground. If you ever have power again, you'll need to make sure that you're not keeping it at the expense of the poor and powerless. You'll need someone to make sure you're ruling justly, not exploiting or ignoring those in need. Sure, I can do that for you. I can help connect you to the masses. You can rule with a wise and just hand. Since none of this will actually happen, I am comfortable making that promise. No, but in reality, it'll still work out fine for me. I'm saving up for some important things, remember? I'm going to get what I've been working toward, and I'm going to live out my life comfortable and happy. Because I said I will. I'm the optimist, remember? And also practical enough to know I can make it happen. See, I have reasonable fantasies, Okay then, let's get on with this day. Thanks again for the breakfast. And for the laughs. I don't mean to minimize your dreams, I genuinely hope you end up happy someday. I just prefer you stay alive until a ripe old age if it's all the same to you. Right back at you, Highness. Always.